Stoneplex sand from Architect's Paper is a range of structured wall coverings for designing high-quality, exclusive interior wall surfaces in hotels, offices or homes. Stoneplex sand is produced by hand using special processes. Due to natural processes, every length is subject to certain fluctuations, making it unique, designed by nature. A cotton fabric is used as the substrate material for this natural product. The following adhesives and tools are required to hang Stoneplex sand. Stoneplex sand weighs up to 5.5 kilograms per square metre. A special adhesive is therefore needed to prevent the material slipping off. The system-tested dispersion adhesive Stoneplex G1000 should be used on flat wall surfaces. The material only qualifies as flame retardant to fire protection class B1 in combination with Stoneplex G1000. The contact adhesive Stoneplex G2000 must be used on extreme curves, corners or for applications requiring particularly high initial adhesion. Note, Stoneplex G2000 contains solvents and may only be used by specialists. A toothed spatula with B2 serration is required in order to uniformly apply the adhesive to the wall. The lengths are then pressed into place without blistering with the aid of a foam rubber roller. Use a hot air fan with a minimum power rating of 1600 watts to seal the joins. Devices with temperature indicator are particularly suitable in order to set the optimum processing temperature. A wooden spatula for stretching and compressing the material is essential to produce a seamless finish. The wooden egg and hardwood seam roller are used to press Stoneplex sand into place on curves and seams. A repair kit containing the matching powdered rock in the basic colour of the wall covering and a primer concentrate is available to fill up seams, repair damaged areas or affix loose sand on the surface. A commercially available brush is used to apply the Stoneplex primer. Stoneplex is cut to size with a utility knife or hook blade. Roughly one blade will be needed per length. The wall surface for hanging Stoneplex must be dry, clean, smooth, slightly absorbent and sustainable. It is best to use a lining paper here. This will also make it easier to strip the material from the wall at a later date. Ensure that the material has reached room temperature before hanging it. A room temperature of +18 degrees centigrade or more is advisable. Stoneplex should never be hung at temperatures below 10 degrees centigrade. The higher the room temperature and the warmer the material, the easier it becomes to cut, mould and hang Stoneplex. Cut the box open and carefully roll out the lengths. Carefully lay out the Stoneplex wall covering on the floor and assemble the lengths to create the desired mural, letting them overlap slightly. Pay particular attention to the way the pattern runs near seams. Lengths can be turned upside down to let the pattern run in the opposite direction. The solvent-free dispersion adhesive Stoneplex G1000 is used on straight wall surfaces. It should be uniformly applied directly to the wall using a B2 toothed spatula. The adhesive has a pot life of roughly 20 to 25 minutes under normal conditions. Do not apply more adhesive than can be covered with material in the next few minutes. It is advisable to apply not more than the width of one length at first. Apply the first length to the adhesive bed and press it into place, without blistering, with the aid of a foam rubber roller. Booking is not necessary. To create a homogeneous mural, the next length should be hung with a slight overlap. Measure out the required width and apply the adhesive for the next length accordingly. Hang the next length with the previously measured overhang. Now cut the length along a natural vein or natural relief using the double seam cutting method. Since the human eye always focuses on straight lines, follow a wavy line when cutting the lengths. First, remove the bottom layer of material and then press the two edges firmly together. Smooth down the seam with a wooden roller. When cutting to size beforehand, it is advisable to use a utility knife to cut the material from the back. Once the cotton fabric has been cut, Stoneplex can easily be separated. Finally, the seams must be heated and sealed with a hot air fan. The dispersion adhesive G1000 must already have solidified the cotton fabric. Heat Stoneplex sand and slide the material into the required position. Even gaps of 2 or 3 millimeters can be closed without difficulty in this way. Any rough, uneven areas, such as protrusions or bumps, can additionally be rubbed down with the wooden spatula to create a uniform structure. Small, uneven areas are natural and emphasize the material's realistic effect. The ideal temperature for processing is between 160 and 200 degrees centigrade. To conceal and stabilize the roughened seams, mix 1 part primer with 5 parts water and apply this mixture to the seam with a brush. Soft transitions can be modelled in this way. If too little primer is used, the seams will remain bright. Using too much primer or repeating the process too often can make the seam look glossy. Stoneplex is easily applied round external corners. Use the hot air fan here to give the material the required flexibility. The basic rule is simple. The warmer the material, the easier it is to shape and bend Stoneplex. Despite using the hot air fan, the material can crack along the fold if the top layer is particularly thick. Such areas are rubbed down with the wooden spatula to reseal them. Alternatively, a remnant coated with primer can be used to sand over such areas. The stone particles are simply rubbed into the edge. Use the repair kit to conceal particularly large gaps and cracks. Loose sand and primer are mixed to form a viscous paste, which is then applied to the open areas with a brush. All refinished areas are coated with the diluted primer, which acts as a deep filler and stabilizes the loose stone particles. After drying through completely, the finish once again looks transparent and the result is a uniform mural. Due to the material's flexibility, Stoneplex sand can also be applied, for example, to such auric elements as pillars. Fireplaces, stucco, or lamps. Special adhesive Stoneplex G2000 lets Stoneplex sand adhere to virtually all wall surfaces, thus creating exclusive design elements. Apply the Stoneplex G2000 contact adhesive to both sides and let it flash off completely. Test it with your fingertip. G2000 is not ready for hanging until it has flashed off completely and no longer adheres to your fingertip. When hanging the material in blocks or cubes, the lengths are simply hung edge to edge, horizontally or vertically. The joins are traced with a scraper to highlight them as an additional design element. Stoneplex sand is supplied in rolls for easy transport, does not require any substructure and does not impose any structural demands on the wall, as would be the case with solid stone panels. Use Stoneplex sand to realize original designs for an exclusive home experience. Individual, unique and natural.